The president of the government of Spain, Pedro Sánchez, attacks precautionary measures and dedicates a video to us on TikTok. Let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Precautionary Measures. Oh my, what a week we've had. We're right in the eye of the storm. After the exclusive we published back on Monday, today is Friday. Just look at everything that has happened this week regarding that cardiovascular condition he's being treated for at the Ramon y Cajal Hospital in Madrid. Pedro Sánchez. In recent months, pay close attention because this information has really hurt the emperor and his craziness, and well, it has had an impact. Aside from the so-called denial on Twitter, today we're going to put a video on TikTok on the table. Alright, because Pedro Sánchez is very modern, trying to get the youth vote, and he has a TikTok account where he does, well, with all due respect for clowns, the clown acts like a clown in these TikTok videos. And he made a video for us. He made a video for precautionary measures for Libertad Digital, since we are the ones who revealed that information exclusively. And well, we have to watch the video. I know it's hard for you to watch Pedro Sánchez, but really this time it's just a minute and a half. And I think it's worth watching because there are so many things to talk about. And all that's left is to watch the video and then we'll start analyzing because there's a lot to talk about. We have the topic here. We're going to play it. Okay, so you can follow along from home on a big screen and not miss what is being said, how it's being said, and above all, for me, what amazed me the most is that this man is smiling. I mean, he's just thrilled with life, absolutely thrilled with life. When someone lies about you, you're usually furious, you're outraged, but this man is just thrilled with life, and in this way, he acts like a clown on TikTok. Let's watch it.
Since they have no proposals for Spain, what do Vox and the PP, the far right and right, do? They're basically the same, aside from their usual antics. Well, they try to win with fake news. The latest is that, apparently I have health problems, Pedro Sánchez has a heart disease, he has a heart condition, does he have any problem?
What about health? Have we published anything, President?
With a pattern that always repeats itself when the Fanco machine is set in motion. First, a pseudo-media outlet, a digital tabloid, always funded, by the way, by these governments of the Popular Party with public money, publishes a lie. Then their male and female deputies amplify it in Congress.
Is something wrong with the president of the government? Is he ill?
And later, the commentators and their Vox muddy the public conversation, sneaking this debate and information either on social media or also on TV channels that go along with them. But anyway, I'm sorry to tell you that I don't suffer from any cardiovascular disease, but even if I did, there wouldn't be any problem either. There are millions of people who suffer from them and live a normal life, thanks precisely to public services. The President, the Popular Party and Vox all work hard to dismantle them wherever they govern. In fact, I send my love to these people and also to the professionals who take care of them. Anyway, the Popular Party and Vox have been announcing the end of this government since the very first day back in 2018, using all kinds of attacks and lies. But the only truth is that what bothers them is the result of democracy, and Spain is doing better than ever, while they keep lying as always.
Thank you for watching, so we'll leave it there with the president of the government we have. Unfortunately, notice that I have faked everything. What frivolity, I'll say it again. I mean, if someone is lying about you and saying that you have an illness you don't have, do you guys think it's serious? Do you think it's serious to suddenly start recording a TikTok? With that face this man makes, laughing, making light of a health issue, with a big smile from ear to ear, pointing at journalists, pointing at media outlets. Anyway, he's just loving life. Whether it's the right, the far right, look, by the way, at his features. I mean, his face couldn't look more skeletal than ever. Look here at the outline of his head. I mean, he's totally wasting away. Just like Gollum from The Lord of the Rings, because he won't let go of the ring. He won't let go of the ring of power. And now he's like Gollum, Pedro Sánchez, and he could end up like Gollum. Of course, because in the end, Gollum ended up the way he did, so obsessed with being in power. In La Moncloa, just look at the state of the president of the government. But of course, if something is a lie, What you do is make an official statement, a press conference, a serious official declaration. You're outraged, you're angry because they are telling lies and falsehoods about you, and you don't record a video on TikTok to act like a clown. Honestly, I really expected a different kind of denial, more serious, more official. Instead, it's a sort of pseudo denial on Twitter, which you then repeat by making a video on TikTok. To me, it seems incredibly frivolous, but well, this is what we have. This is the level of our Prime Minister, who, since we've caught him red handed, well, now he spends his time making videos on TikTok to keep looking for the youth vote, but the youth vote, I think they already know Pedro Sánchez pretty well. And I don't want to resist commenting either, because the other day I was telling you that one of the. Well, Pedro Sánchez's media sewer is called El Plural, because here there can be left-wing media, right-wing media, pro-government, anti-government, call them whatever you want. And then there can be media sewers that are used by political parties to dump all their filth, all their garbage there. And this is the case with El Plural. That's the case with El Plural, which has also dedicated a report to us and even mentions me directly. And the truth is, I can't resist commenting on it. Well, first they accused my boss of spreading a hoax after Yuso and Almeida received a subsidy of 1 million euros. The accounts of Libertad Digital and the radio are crystal clear. And that's never hidden. No, it's never been hidden in any way. All media outlets receive aid and subsidies. We receive, well, at Libertad Digital and the radio, far fewer than most media outlets. And precisely, I think that's what allows us to be more independent than the rest of the media outlets. And to be critical of the government and to tell the truth that others can't tell. And here, well, you have nothing more and nothing less than the reference of this media cesspool media, which is El Plural, which could be renamed as The Swamp. About yours truly, it literally says the journalist from El Bulo about Pedro Sánchez. The journalist from Libertad Digital, Miguel Ángel Pérez, was the one who spread the false information about Pedro Sánchez's supposed cardiovascular disease in the information published and also spread in a video. The video is about precautionary measures, meaning that people from Lodasal, that is from El Plural, see precautionary measures. You see the video, so I'll say that on a media level you are trash. So, do they directly say that in the information published and spread, also in a video, the journalist claimed that Sanchez suffers from a cardiovascular injury, an illness for which he has been treated for a few months at the Ramón y Cajal Hospital in Madrid? In addition, he pointed out that he is being treated in secret and that it's not a joke at all. According to the sources, they say that if this illness is not caught in time and treated and checked regularly, it could get complicated and could lead to possible heart attacks or thrombosis. He is being treated by a specialist, a leading figure in the world of cardiology, Dr. Zamorano. In the same way, El Lodasal reported that Sanchez would go to the hospital on days with fewer people and at odd hours, like a Sunday at 7 in the morning. El Lodasal concludes by saying that Sanchez and the government deny the rumor in response to the rumor, and it's used by PP deputies such as Cayetana Alvarez de Toledo. They made the president address the issue and criticize the right. I don't have cardiovascular disease, but even if I did, it wouldn't be a problem. There are millions of people who suffer from them and lead a normal life thanks to the public services that you are dismantling. This is the same thing we've heard in the video, but which the Lodasal collects from the exact words of what Pedro Sánchez said. Honestly, I would be ashamed. I have some commitments, I have colleagues in this media outlet, or of misinformation, or of mud, since the president of the government likes the topic of mud so much. Honestly, I feel embarrassed for others when I read what El Plural does. Because I'm telling you, we are very critical of pro-government media, pro-Sanchez media, but well, at least at some point they do some journalism, but this is not journalism at all. This is simply publishing, using a machine that has the ability to publish news. Let's call it news, not to say garbage. And this is indeed used by the government of Pedro Sánchez directly, Pedro Sánchez from the Socialist Party, to publish all the crap that not even his most reasonable government media dare to publish. That's what they use El Plural for. It's like the media sewer. They dump the waste there that not even in other pro-government or left-wing media like the newspaper .es, El País, or Infolibre would appear. They publish it there. That's what El Plural is for. I'll say it again, as I did the other day. I have colleagues in all the media outlets, left-wing media, and they all tell me they're ashamed of what's happening. In El Plural, the things that get published in El Plural, besides the fact that they copy information and news, well, as I said, it's nothing more than Pedro Sanchez's septic pit, where they throw all the crap that the other media outlets, no matter how pro-Sanchez or leftist they are, don't dare to publish. But anyway, in the end, like I told you, time will put everyone in their place. I just have to tell you one thing. When I received this information before Christmas, well, over this time, I've been able to cross-check it with up to 4 or 5 different sources that confirm this information for me. And coincidentally, Moncloa doesn't deny it when I ask about it on Sunday night. And yet, 4 days later, there's the so-called denial via tweet. There's this video we just saw on TikTok. Anyway, everything stinks. I've done my job. I've cross-checked it with several sources, as is required of me as a journalist. That's my duty. That's my job. And even with those directly involved, and those directly involved didn't deny it. If you didn't deny it, then I'm sorry, Mr. President of the government, but now your so-called denial, whether it's on Twitter or TikTok or whatever, has no validity. And of course, there's also something else. We are investigating many more pieces of information that are coming to us, and we are alert, we are vigilant. And of course, when this information is verified, just like what we have already published, we will publish new information regarding the state of health of the President of the government, because this is a matter of state, a matter for all citizens. All Spaniards have the right to know if our President of the government is in full physical, emotional, and psychological capacity to carry out the role of President. Because his decisions affect us, they can harm us, and we have the right to know. And that's it for this edition of Precautionary Measures. Thank you very much for your attention and for following this information so closely. This week we will see what happens next week. Of course, everything is very, very unsettled and intense, and of course I will keep sharing all the information with you from here, from Precautionary Measures. I have to tell you that I have been receiving a lot of expressions of affection and care, and also a lot of people who are becoming members to show that support. Besides, through social media, messages, emails, colleagues, anyway, there are many members who want to make their contribution, do their part, and we have 2 new members, like the chosen ones, who are AKI2 and Asunjay5. In addition, they have also made very important contributions through Bizun, as have a number of subscribers, and today's program is also dedicated to them. Of course, we are going to mention it as a thank you for their great effort and for supporting this channel, which is Precautionary Measures. Do you have it? You can leave your comments and opinions, as you always do, on the video, because you know I always read them. And we're also going to dedicate today's video to Juan Miguel Martin, Ana Garcia Baena, and Daniel Canales for your financial contributions. Thank you very much. On that line, Bizun at 6275-56370. They are not going to shut us up, they are not going to silence us, and we are going to keep moving forward. Thanks to your support, to your encouragement, which I feel closer than ever, really. Thank you all so much. As I always say, the most important thing is making sure everyone gets this information, because information is power. See you soon.